Hi, I hope you're doing well. I am here to do part 2. I'm going to start with Libra. Libra, I did your starter the other day. Just as an intro real quick for everybody, we have another storm upon us in Florida. It's obviously not it's not a strong hurricane, but it's very large. It's not the size of Francis, but it's fairly large, okay? And astrologically as well as meteorologically, storms around a time of a full moon are not good for surge. So, definitely heed any evacuation orders that you receive. Okay, because, there's been, Jupiter is still extremely close to the Earth. With this full moon, we have Mercury as well as Venus involvement. All right, and we have Uranus, which is the unexpected attached to the moon. Okay, so I mean, I'm just, luckily this is not a super strong storm, so I'm very, feel very fortunate about that. But, again, events worldwide, astrologically speaking, when we're dealing with water, and especially with a interaction with land, with Saturn in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini, that increases formation, and structure of windstorms in general. Additionally, there is a square between Uranus and Saturn still, and I don't like the way that interacts, with land when we're dealing with like natural disasters or force majeures. Luckily, just the aspects at play, there tends to be a lot of outer planets and inner planets involved in larger storms, and the signs were there with Ian for that. So just on any storm right now, always heed warnings for evacuation and stuff like that. Florida doesn't need any more problems. Okay, right? I don't need I don't need to worry about you guys. Okay. Let's move on to Libra. Libra, this full moon takes place in your 8th house, okay, which is death, taxes, inheritance, and legacy. Okay, you can expect something unexpected and heightened in emotions for you, or intuition surrounding these themes. Obviously, we had the midterm elections, and there were some surprises with that, in general. Okay, and they can take about 6 months to play out in full when we're dealing with a lunar eclipse. But you will feel some of the energy, from the day within 2 weeks, to a month, and then take some time to play out. Okay, and some of these may be dealing with your intuitions and about the legacies that you want to leave to the world. Especially if you are a sun or a moon. And if you are a rising, then you would, have greater impacts, in that field, okay? Especially with Venus's involvement, it's your ruling planet. It's conjunct the sun with a messenger of the gods. So anything, attached to Libran-like themes, at this time would be, especially poignant for you, in your second house of income, all right, and things we value, all right, which is taken up by Scorpio, all right. So you may get some ideas of some ways you want to transform in those areas on one sense or another, okay. You pulled the mirror and the crone, all right, which also a crone is very like attached to symbology, in regards to things like a medicine woman, or spirituality and alternative, forms of tapping into, God and spirit, and the way and it's also very attached to, the wise elder. Okay, this one tends to be more attached to a feminine figure. Okay, so some of you guys may have issues surrounding a feminine figure that you're either missing or is on your mind around this time. All right, and with the mirror here, I feel like there is definitely a dichotomy of what's being reflected back. okay, what you're putting out versus what you're getting back, whether we're talking about income, whether we're talking about deeply transformative sexual relationships, which may or may not include a marriage or a live-in partnership or things of that sort. Some of these things are very, very heavily on your mind right now. And, you know, with Mercury's involvement as well, communications may be up, you know, for you, and as well as tensions surrounding communications, okay? Especially in houses that are predominated for you, which, you know, Virgo rules your 12th house, and Gemini rules your 9th house. So, you know, anything to do with foreign affairs, higher learning, education, issues in regards to dogma when it comes to religion, you know, churches, things of this nature, maybe on your mind or the focus in one way or another of something going on for you. With Mars in there, that is a big push of energy in Gemini. You know, if you have a Gemini moon, you know, as one of your big three or a stellium, you know, this will be more intense for you. Additionally, if you have anything that's squaring off or opposing, that's one of your big three. Okay, so if you have anything in Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, all right. Additionally, sometimes you see these represented via energy. So if you're dealing with somebody else that has those as their sun, moon, or rising, that's in your that's close to you, or that you have to deal with because of negotiations or something like that, there may be you may feel tensions or oppositions in those areas that are heightened. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm going to do a 5-card pull for you. I'm getting the I'll call these out. You have the 4 of Swords. For some of you, this could have to do with a masculine figure, you know, or you could be this masculine figure. There's something that, and I'm getting, again, points to Aquarius. So I'm feeling like there's some sort of structural matter or limelight issue. Could be in relation to your job that you have to make a decision over, or a path that you have to make a decision over. That is of significance, okay? And sometimes, you know, our realizations about things, whether they're incoming from other people or outgoing because of you yourself, kind of take hold, okay? And so, you know, you may be the hairbringer of change, or other factors or people around you may be involved with this, okay? You're pulling here with, I'm gonna call these all out. Just give me a second. I just want to finish them. 2 came out on the 4th, so I'll keep them both. We have, yeah, it's a lot of heightened intuition here, okay? You have the High Priestess and Ace of Rods at the bottom of the deck. And, you know, something about decision making, possibly bad decisions, okay, in romance or in your love life, could be perplexing you, okay? Whether that's an old or new relationship, dealing with some sort of codependency issues, old addiction issues, fighting your own demons kind of thing, might be of critical significance here, okay? I do see like that you are either coming out of a period of rest that you've been in, or something may shake you up around this time, okay? The reason I'm showing that is for, I have a 4 of Swords, a King of Pentacles, Temperance, Justice. Justice came out with a 6 of Cups and a Hangman. So, you know, for some of you, this could have to do with a marriage, or consideration of a marriage or business that's very important to you, okay? Especially with Venus's involvement. You know, it could be about your resources and whether you're bringing those resources to the fore. You may have been resting on an issue or contemplating about an issue that's really, you know, been on your mind, okay? And, you know, the King of Pentacles can relate back to other earth signs. Does not have to be. It's also a significator for me for a live-in or marriage type relationship, okay? Or a business owner, all right? But if you were to have a sun, moon, or rising in an earth sign, you know, definitely take heed and focus to that area of your chart, especially if you do have a moon from in middle Taurus, for example, you know, or one of the, or some other placement in the earth signs, okay, these themes are playing back and forth with each other for you very strongly right now, okay. I see that the outcome is going to be good. So with temperance here, that's kind of making a new alchemy and making a blend, all right, that into a new mix that's like very fortuitous, as well as some protection, okay. For a lot of you, this does seem to go back to either a father figure, a masculine figure, whether that's you or somebody you're thinking about right now, and with Justice and the Six of Cups here, there's strong like nostalgic feelings, you know, surrounding whatever relationship this is, okay, whether it is a family relationship, which it definitely could be with the 8th house involvement, all right, and there is some sort of sense of justice here, and the call from this read is that you do need to allow yourself to, I don't want to say free fall, but to really contemplate what this means to you, okay, because for Justice to be here with the Six of Cups, I'm back. For some of you, it could, you know, this could involve someone with, but I am strongly getting some loving vibes, very, very heavy loving vibes here, and a period of coming out of conflict and rest and retreat and recovery from something here, okay, that was pretty heavy. Or that will occur, that's heavy, and this could, you know, be in the mind, but I feel like it's, if it is in the mind, it's something you want to actualize, something you want to work on. With Justice appearing here with the Six of Cups, that is your major arcana card, okay, and like I said, your ruling planet is heavily involved. I feel like you do, you know, there's some desire here to bring about some change and some justice, possibly surrounding something. It could involve your own children, and it could involve the justice system, but it does not have to. If it did, it was probably some sort of bickering scenario, probate scenario, or child or marital law issue, okay? You know, and if not, it may just surround bringing more balance, you know, to your relationships, okay? And wanting that very much so, okay? Yeah, I'm like, it could involve making up with somebody, you know, or getting your relationship on a better footing, okay? I'm definitely, you know, seeing like strong vibes, to reconcile in some way or put something on a better footing with someone, okay? Give me the Hangman here. All right, this person, maybe, you know, hold on one second. I feel like for a lot of you, this is somebody that you were in love with, okay? Either a mate that you're with now currently, or someone else. There's a lot of water here popping up, okay? I have a King and a Queen of Cups on the deck. One or more of you may have water, sun, moon, or rising. But I'm also showing here with the Empress and strength. So I feel like there's something here that's very difficult for you to do in regards to the realization of what you want to do, that may occur, okay? And you need to have strength to be able to do it in this place of higher consciousness and go with your intuition. I'm not sure if that's because because these are new realizations or something new that's happened over this period involving with this moon that really strikes you or hits you. But it does seem to take a lot of your strength to subject yourself to this higher place of consciousness, you know? And the advice from the universe on this is to bring justice to this situation, and that you know what that is. You know what to do. It's like there's something here that you're trying to tap into that occurs, and then you get this inkling like I need to do this, but it's difficult. It's not easy. It could surround a mother figure, okay, and a love relationship, and again, whether that's your own mother or a husband-wife scenario or ex scenario, But I am definitely getting that this was a huge love relationship in one way or another, okay? And we love our parents, you know what I mean? So this could be your own mother, and I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole too deep on this one because but I am getting like there was some sort of abandonment here, okay? All right, and it could have been that blew up previously, and that there is some place of higher consciousness here that you're trying to tap into. Again, somebody may have earth and water in their chart, sun, moon, rising, okay, one or both of you. I'm popping here with a Queen of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups, okay? It's the second time I've seen the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is also over here. I have a King of Cups over here, and I have an Empress. And I have that a tower blue, like that there was like, I don't know if there was abandonment or a lack, that happened that blew up the situation, and now it's time of recovery. And I feel like this is something you've contemplated for a long time. Whatever it is, coming to this new, and I feel like it's like an internal knowing, but then it's like you have to follow up with that internal recognition that you're having to do the right thing. And the advice here is to do that, to stay in that place of peace when you act, whatever way or thing you want to do, to breathe and take your time and go in that direction, okay? But to go in that direction. Okay, so I appreciate you, Libra. I love you guys. Let me know how it goes. I'm going to clean these up, and I'm going to move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, how are you? Happy eclipse. You just pulled the mirror. I'm going to give you two because I literally just... if you are on the Scorpio Libra cusp, Libra got that, pulled the mirror as well. And you are pulling with the mirror and the Queen. So I do feel like that you are either, a divine feminine figure here that you're thinking about or dealing with or operating with, that's setting off some sort of mirror in your situation and what occurs around the time of this full moon eclipse. Now, this full moon eclipse, it falls in your first and seventh house axis. When we're dealing with the first and seventh house axis, whatever happens is a very mirror-like situation, okay? Our partners tend to reflect the best and the worst of ourselves, okay? I do see a lot of positive energies for change, okay? In regards to this full moon, even though there are some upsets and it may be bumpy to change, because of Uranus's involvement. However, there's like a big drive and intuition towards a need for change. Okay. When it comes to you, Venus is in conjunction with the Sun, as well as Mercury, the messenger of the gods, and Venus rules your 12th house. Okay, which is a very secret, quiet place. Okay, but it's also, a place with Venus being at the first. I feel as if, it could play out a couple different ways. If you guys have been working on some sort of project or had something going on in the background dealing with Venusian issues, they could reach a new stead where you have a lot more communications about them, or you're getting ready to have a lot more communications about them. They could deal with partnerships. They could deal with relationships. We have a 7th house, okay? So there could be some upset in some way. And that could be coming from you. Like you could have been planning something that now is ready to move forward to the next stage. Okay. Additionally, let me just take a look at the chart real quick right here. Additionally, it rules your 7th house, which again is your partnerships. Okay. These can be frenemies. These can be enemies. These can also be your business partnerships that are very important, or, collaborations or groups, when we're dealing with 7th house. But if it was a group, it would be one that your personal importance is tied to. Okay. Your purpose. Okay. Frenemies can also come in from that line, okay? And with the moon and Uranus, you may have something unexpected come or occur that you were not expecting, all right? Whether that's for the positive or negative depends on your individual charts and how that plays out. But I do see that, like, there is, even if it is unexpected and you don't get everything you want or something of this sort, you may be able to get there, and you may have a lot of realizations at this time about how to do so, especially since it's kind of coming from the background in your 12th house and is also playing out in your 7th, and it's your rule, you know, the ruling planet for both. Additionally, if you have anything in Leo or Aquarius, it's going to be a little bit rougher, okay? There's already tensions in that area, okay? And Aquarius rules your 4th house of home. So whatever is going on with this full moon, which can take up to 6 months to play out once the initial, you know, bang is there or occurrence, you know, it's, you know, going to deal with some structures and organizations and everyday duties and karma, dealing with something that's very, very personal to you in your home. And there is an emphasis on looking at your home, whether it's your homeland or your actual physical home, and what home means to you, and going from that base to reconcile the two of what's happening, because there is a T-square between the eclipse, okay, and your 1st and 7th house and the 4th house of home, okay. There is tension, especially, so you may be getting tensions from people that you have partnerships with by contract or by group that, again, would be extremely important to you, that are creating tensions to your home base as well, okay. And you have to kind of muddle these together to you know, take a course of action that is going to be beneficial for your true values of what you would like to occur, okay. So let's take a look at this. I have the High Priestess, the Princess of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the 4 of Swords. This is quite similar to, and I'm using a different deck, to there's just some similarities with Scorpio's reading. So if you're dealing with with Libra's reading, so if you're dealing with a Libra, or you have, if you're a cusper or have placements in both, definitely check out both. I feel as if this is a very excellent position to be in with this High Priestess here. There could be some opportunities here dealing with your work, in particular, okay, and the fair balance of give and take, and opening up some new doorways here for you that are quite fortuitous and good, that you've had to follow your intuition on, okay, and they look very, very positive. With this Princess of Pentacles, I feel like something that you either wanted something, or possibly were studying or working on something, a project, okay, that has led to this pentacle of reaching this place of the High Priestess, you know, and you could have been in a waiting period, okay, to get to the next rung or phase in something, or close something out, okay. There may be something here that wasn't working, whether on your part or somebody else's part, that you were kind of in this hangman state over, and you're not going to be anymore, or you've made a decision, or someone else has, about what to do and how to move forward, okay. So the trajectory from here is to jump into action to do that, okay. I'm getting strong, like, family vibes here, okay. So if this is dealing with a work project, it's quite significant to you, quite significant, all right. And there is cause to celebrate about your values, whether that's in a person or somebody else that's extremely close to you. I feel like there's something about making new investments here in partnerships, all right. And the statement here is to speak the truth, okay. This is interesting. There may have been something going on in secret, okay, or, you know, whether that was your part or somebody else's, that becomes illuminated. And the advice here, hold on, because this is kind of funny. There is some advice here that is, I'm going to actually pull some more on before I speak on, because with the outcome here, I see that there's a lot of celebration. I have a 6 of Cups, and on it I got the 3 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. That is like a very positive outcome to this scenario that arises for you, okay? And, you know, it's, you know, there's either some celebrations, or you get something very close to your heart, win kind of thing here, out of this deal, and you decide to invest more, in this stead into these things, okay? And for some of you, this could be somebody from the past, but it does not have to be. This is very reflective of some very nostalgic feelings. This Ace of Swords, I am getting the Moon, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and then the Two of Pentacles. So it's like there is something here that's either hidden, or it's like to be or not to be, speak the truth or not to speak the truth, what to speak the truth on, and making decisions in regards to plans. There's something here going on with that, okay? Give me those Four of Swords. I do see, it's like there needs to be, again, I feel like you are at a place where you are, you want to heal something here, all right? And it requires communication for healing, okay? And movement on your part to get what you want. I do want to see, what is this Moon here for? Hold on. I feel like you guys may be going back to hold on. I don't want to speak on this too soon because this is kind of getting crazy down here. I feel like there's something that either you feel guilty about that's gone on, or some sort of justice that you want to bring to a situation. And again, I already discussed these vibes, especially with, you know, me getting the Justice card here and me already discussing Venus and it being attached to the Sun. And there's something very strongly about speaking the truth, moving towards truth, bringing justice to a situation that perhaps has been unjust, you know, and there is a healing process going on. And your advice is that for you to heal about bad decisions that you've made that have possibly upset some things, okay, that you do need to communicate and take movement, okay? So that is the advice. And I feel like you already know you need to do that because of this heightened state of intuition here. Now, for some of you, I do feel as if there is some sort of going back to the past, or some sort of calling to take some sort of risk here and to speak on it, you know. And I feel like if that is, you've been contemplating this for a long time, either watching over someone else or a decision or examining something, because I have the Princess of Swords here with this, all right, on this Moon, and it could be heavy involvement of emotions, okay, with it, all right. But I do see that, like, it's like you do need to make a decision in order to bring justice to a scenario, okay, and restore balance and equity and fairness and equality, all right. And I feel as if, you know, these are things that you already know. These are things that, however, may just really be kind of like a lightning flash around this time because of some things that have happened. I feel like you've already put in a lot of work on something, you know, a lot of work, all right? And there is something about reciprocity here in these affairs that do look involved with something that you've worked quite heavily on, you know, that you're getting this intuition about. And, you know, because these play out so well, I do say to follow that intuition, that internal intuition with the scenario, because you have a very good outcome. The only thing that is like here that can actually help it along is for you to start talking, you know, and communicating about it, all right? And because I feel like you already know exactly what you want to do with this, okay? You already do. And I do feel like this could bring about some sort of little win for you or something like this around this time. And then it's like, well, now that I've done this or have this, now I gotta move forward, all right? with the rest of it. So I feel like we're like in the middle of some project here, and I do feel like this is a pretty big one that literally may take up to 6 months for you to play forward. Okay, it's not an overnight deal. Okay, it's not an overnight deal, but there is something that is striking you in regards to truthfulness here. All right, and speaking the truth, communicating on the truth. For some of you now, if some of you do undercover work or something of this sort, or deal with things that are private, you know, there could have been a need to keep those things private for some sort of reason, but now it's like it's ready for the next stage. Okay, and there is something here where you're called as well to do right by something in this regard, and now it's just carrying it forward to get to your reward. Okay, 6 of Cups is very associated with your sign. It's one of your minor arcana cards. Okay, now some of you could be engaged in some sort of deep therapy, you know, whether you counsel other people, but I'm not getting those vibes super strongly. I don't think that that's for the majority of you, but I'd like to cover as many of you as I can in here, okay? Because I'm reading for thousands of you at a time. I do feel like there's some sort of decision to be made here about moving forward with something after some heartbreak, okay, towards a victory, all right? And it could have to do with women's issues, you know, on an external level, but I feel like you are personally attached to these actions that need to be taken and to this plan. I don't feel like this is all from the outside in, okay? You know, for some of you, it could involve, you know, opening the doors to new opportunities, okay, after some unrest or heartbreak, okay, dealing with women's issues or a female figure that you guys respect highly, okay. Now, for some of you, you could meet a new partner suddenly and unexpectedly, or have something happen with a feminine figure that you admire greatly. All right, around this time, especially with Uranus's involvement, okay? But whatever it is, it's like you take it in and you decide what to do about it, and it's going to come to a good final step, okay? So thank you for being here with me, Scorpio. I'm going to finish shuffling and move on. See you later. Enjoy it. Let me know how it goes. Hi Sag, how are you? I wanted to do a little eclipse reading for you, okay? The eclipse could actually take up to 6 months in total, but I do expect it to be really kind of big for almost all of the signs. For you, it falls in your 6th house, which deals with health. Also deals with daily activities, service work, whether that's governmental or you're in a service-oriented position or job. Okay, and you know, something unexpected could occur for you at this time within those areas, okay? If you are in a service-oriented profession, all right? Some of you could have something unexpected come up in regards to your health or in regards to caretaking if you are a caretaker. You know, but I do think that it's, you know, there's something meant to be about what happens, even if it's not altogether pleasant on every front. Like, even if whatever comes out, or, you know, is not all, you know, roses, it's like there is a lot of intuition about where to go from here with it, okay? To get things back on a proper path. Now, you know, Venus for you guys is going to be very strong because of its attachment to the sun. It is for everybody. It's also attached to the messenger of the gods. I expect a lot of communications to be going on, and some of those communications may not be completely done, or a project may not be completely done, or one may start that takes quite a bit of effort and work but something, you know, that spawns off at this time is very like heavily attached to it. Okay, for some of you it may have to do with your wider networks as well, or you could get some sort of benefit from your wider networks at this time. You may experience a win, especially if you're in a 6th house, you know, career or something of that sort, and you may have some sort of beneficial offer that comes around, you know, within 30 days or so of this, okay, or want to present one to someone else, okay. But you know, you're popping here, your very first card is the 7 of Wands, okay. So there is something here, hold on, about a I'm going to call all these out, just let me pull them first. If some of you do have anything connected with your health, okay, I would think it would be in regards to something that you can do something about, okay. If it's in regards to your work, like I feel like if it's in regards to your work, that a total transformation is needed, especially if you work in government or a service related position, okay. A total transformation is going to be needed, okay, to deal with like controlling or bad behavior on the part of actors that you're involved with at this time, okay. I do feel like you have some protection here. The 7 of Wands is your first card, followed by the Hermit, followed by the 2 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. You know, for some of you, I'm going to pull a clarifier before I speak on this. Hold on. For some of you, I don't know if you've been disappointed in love or you're afraid of new love. For some of you, you could be. There is like a theme here that maybe you guys are blocking off your chances in regards to either women or something new occurring. Now, some of you could be very protective around a female figure as well, okay? And if so, it's like there is like some brand new beginning that is on offer, but perhaps you are looking to bring justice to some sort of situation, fairness and balance, and something you wanted dearly in that regard did not come to fruition fully. But there is symbology here that there is like, I mean, I have an Ace of Cups here. Hold on. You know, I feel as if like with the Hermit appearing here, there's something that you wanted very badly, okay, that you were holding on to, that you very much wanted. There may have been a lot of communications or something that was done in haste that like you're contemplating now, whether that was a bad decision on your part or, you know, I feel like there's a lot of other people here involved, okay. For some of you, hold on, this is getting heavy now. There may have been some sort of sense of, I really want something, but if I attach myself too much to wanting it, I'll be disappointed. Something like this, okay? And it's like, if it's something you want that bad, I don't think you can detach yourself from it completely. You know what I mean? There is a mourning process here, and there's something in regards to you being able to compete at love again and change, all right? And this may be a love for a project, but if it was, it would be very deep and meaningful to you, almost with a philanthropic tone to it, okay? Because you know, and I see that there's some sadness here, okay? And like your advice in regards to this is to, hold on. Is to take action, Okay. Whether you are to take action to protect what you value. Okay. You know, I am getting these vibes that this could involve, like, you know, some of you could, you know, if you're old enough to have children in their 20s, you could be dealing with some fatherhood issues. All right. For those of you that do not, okay, or that are not in that scenario, I feel as if this is something very, very deep to you that you need to spearhead, all right, or go after. But there is like some lingering sadness on the issue, probably because something major happened with the Five of Cups. That is a period of deep reflection and mourning after a period of loss. Okay, so whether you are the hairbringer of that or that is just something you have to accept once you're done processing it, which I feel as if you are, then you have to get up and walk forward towards the things that you want. And I feel like you know what you want. For some of you, this may be related to a love relationship, but for a lot of you, it has to do with bringing love back into what you do in your daily routine on some front here. Okay. And to kind of carry that forward, that loving vibe in what you do, you know, and I feel as if that you will be able to do that, but there is, I don't want to, like, there's some sort of negative force around you, and I feel like it could be coming externally from the outside. But if so, it would have been something that you battled with before or in the past here, okay? And, you know, there may have been some sort of thing that you had to walk away from in regards to a situation regarding your own mother or a feminine figure here, and you may feel frustrated or blocked from achieving some sense of justice on this stead because of whatever happens around this time. You know, some of you may be walking back towards someone, okay, that you previously walked away from, or walking back to a project that is very, very close to your heart, after an occurrence here, okay? I see you doing that, you know, and the advice is for you to, you know, process what it is that you want here with this Five of Cups here, you know, to accept your sadness, okay? For some of you, it could have, you know, if it involves a creative project, it's one that you were very heavily your heart was attached to. You know, I don't want to sit here and say have your cry and then, you know, put your boots back on, but there is a sense of that here, and I feel as if you're 100% capable of doing it, okay? 100% capable, because I see that if you do and you take action and you stand within your power, okay? Because the King of Pentacles can be attached to Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. You could be dealing with somebody of that sort, but it is a very loyal card. It is a very mature card, and yet behind this maturity is a lot of action, and it's action in spearheading things, but then not letting go of what you spearhead. Like, you know, a Knight of Wands goes after what he wants very, very quickly, very, very fast to spearhead new projects, okay? But when it's attached with this Knight of Pentacles here, there is a strong vibe of not giving up and slowly and methodically continuing to work on that project. So I do feel like this is, and if you are able to do that, you will hold this place of higher ground, okay? And you start on this place of higher ground. So I feel like your intentions are at the right place at this time. Okay, so if you are dealing with negative energies around you or in some sort of scenario of that sort, that you will be able to do that, okay, with success. Thank you so much. Hold on. Hi Capricorn, how are you? I wanted to do a eclipse reading for you, okay? You had a full moon lunar eclipse, which was on the 8th, okay? It fell in your 5th house, okay, which is the house of joy. It's a very, like, pleasant house typically. However, you know, it's attached to children as well. And so you could have had something unexpected occur in regards to a creative project or something of this sort. It may involve a feminine figure, does not have to. All right, in your family or in your with children or something that you are involved with creatively, if you were, that would be a highly passionate event and maybe somewhat unexpected. Okay. The Ace of Swords is popping out when I said that. So there is some truth in regards to whatever occurs. You may be in realization of this truth. You may have stumbled upon, for some people, someone that someone or something that you feel an animalistic instinct towards, okay, which can be altogether fabulous, all right. And I feel as if there's something truth here, okay, there's some that you want, all right, and it could play out additionally in your I just want to take a look here real quick before I speak on this, because it's your 5th house and Venus. And just let me turn you on the ascendant just to see something real, because there is a T square with this, and it's creating tension with in Aquarius. Okay. So for some of you guys, I feel as if you guys are going to feel some tensions between between where the T square is. I'm sorry. We're expecting a storm, a hurricane later today. So I'm sorry if my speech is off, but I've been in the middle of hurricane prep in between trying to finish this video for you guys before the power goes out and get it uploaded. I feel like something unexpected is going to occur, okay? On or around, sometimes you don't see what occurred until 28 days, after, but it would be unexpected. Now, you could entirely meet someone that you're crazy about that you didn't expect to meet, okay? Or run across some sort of ability to tap into some sort of project here that is new, that has high amount of Venusian themes, okay, that are involved with them, all right, which could relate back to the justice system or some sort of relationship, okay, or balance and equity and order and themes that, Libra emits, as well as Taurus, which has to do with resources and the things we value and luxury and things of this sort, okay. But with this tinge, it's like something unexpected here definitely plays out. And for you guys, your 11th house is also involved, since it opposes the full moon, all right, and that is your wider networks, okay. And something about your wider networks and the past may be at play for you at this time, okay, with these energies, all right. Some of you may be transforming your networks, all right, on quite a large stage, okay. And some of you, if it's not involved with, could have, somebody come in from your wider networks as well, or feeling pressure from your wider networks, okay. I do feel as if something about what goes on feels somewhat public, or has the possibility to be somewhat public, okay. And there is some sort of truth that you want to, if it is a project, I'm so sorry. If it is a project, it's like one that is very meaningful to you here, because I have the Ace of Swords, the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, the King of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. And so, some of you could be dealing with some sort of marriage or major achievement that you want. When we're dealing with the 4 of Wands, that could be anything from a book to a project but it's something massive, okay? Very important, and there may be a lot of communications involved with it, or going on, or truths that are going on with it, okay? There is a sense of either some sort of battle, training, or competition here in the outcome that I want to clarify before I speak on further, okay? Because sometimes the 5 of Wands could be altogether good. I mean, if this is like some, major thing that you're training for, and this has to do with tactical training as well when we're dealing with the 5 of Wands, if, you're into sports or anything physical, or you have to train for something that you really want. You know, the Five of Wands can be quite a positive card for that, okay? I do see a lot of change here because you have two fives appearing. And when we're dealing with the Five of Cups, it's like there is some sort of thing where you may be afraid of failure, okay? So I'm just going to clarify this a little bit more before I... What is this Five of Wands here? I do feel like a lot of you have like some sort of decision about some major project or thing that you want very badly, okay? Now, when we're dealing with the Five of Wands and training for something, okay, I do feel like it's a big achievement. The only thing I would say to you is to be very careful in your dealings, that you're upfront, okay? Hold on. Give me this Knight of Cups here. That you're upfront. Some of you could be fearful about bringing forth like something to do with this creative project. May involve some sort of contract that you have to negotiate, and I don't want to say it's a very strong creative vibe here, and a vibe, if it is a project that you want super bad, okay? And I just want to pull this one more thing before I speak on this in full. There may be some fear of embarrassment or something coming out to do with your family, or some old soul tie or connection here going on for you as well. Okay, you may be afraid that you may have had some sort of contract that got screwed up with somebody, or be afraid that something you very much want could be thrown off course. Okay, could be thrown off course here. All right, I do see it as a major achievement. The one thing I would say, and again, I'm getting strong. I have on this Five of Wands, just so you know, I got the Four of Swords, the World, and the Lovers. So let me just pull real quick on one of these. I don't know if you got in a fight with somebody, or you're afraid of a fight with somebody. For some of you it could be, but let me just pull before I... I feel like you lost somebody or are afraid of losing somebody, okay, that was connected with your family, and that felt maybe like it got you all tied up in knots. You may have feel that you made a decision here to close something out, or, you know, that you didn't want to, okay? And for others of you, this achievement was so big for you, that you want it so bad that there is like an all or nothing vibe here, where it's like, I either win or I lose. I either win all and I'm going to get everything I ever wanted, because I have a Ten of Pentacles here, which is like the ultimate family, happiness, security, wealth. I mean, it's not always the ultimate happiness, because that would be the Ten of Cups. But with the Five of Cups here, there is some sort of sadness. So there may have been an attachment to some sort of materialism here that you made a decision or choice about, that caused an ending to something that, or you're afraid is going to cause an ending to something that is making you scared. Making you scared. Here, okay? And I feel like you're afraid that if this truth comes out about the situation, that it could upset your foundations, okay? Or some other thing that you very, very much want, take something away from you that was a major achievement, okay? Whether that be, you know, a home or your marriage, or something quite significant achievement to you here. And, you know, for some of you, it's like, I'm just get these strong vibes of like, I'm going to try and then I'm going to get my heart broke, or I'm going to try and then I'm going to lose everything, you know, vibe to it. It's like a all or nothing. It's all or nothing. And this may be why this animal card is pulling up with it, because it's like, you may be so hyper focused on it that what you want is overtaking your emotions at a very high degree here, okay? And hang on. And there may be fear, again, I'm getting these, like there may be fear of either showing part of yourself or somebody finding out about something, or fear of, you know, something that you lost that you were very attached to, nostalgically so, all right, tied to an old relationship or someone here, okay? You may, and again, I'm getting these like, there's some truths that you have to face in getting what you want, or there is like such attachment to this thing that you want so bad, that you're afraid that you're just like, there's some feelings of knots here that I'm getting, like just looking at this, okay? Like being tied up in knots about this, you know. Some of you, are holding on to some pain here, okay, attached to something that you've contemplated but maybe not dealt with or talked about. That's just the heartbreak from it has stood inside you for a very long time, okay? And it may have stood inside you to the point where you didn't take action that you wanted to take, all right, on either a dream that was very important to you or in regards to a relationship that was very important to you, okay? And it's like you need to bring forth like this loving vibe, because this is part of the advice is this Knight of Cups. That is an action card. That is like bringing, you know, going and bringing forth your cup of offer, whether that is, and when it deals with creativity, that's like your offer of a creative project, exposing yourself. Something that is hard or vulnerable for you to expose, but I feel like you want very heavily here. And with this Five of Cups, it's like there is either, you know, now for some of you, you could be afraid that like your old connections or somebody in your family is going to not be happy with something that you do or something that you did. A bad decision, okay? And it may have been attached to something that you held on to, or your own feelings of things that you've held on to, and some of those may be related to old past pain. And there may be a fear here in regards to getting into a relationship of risk exposure. But there's some acknowledgement here that you very much want this. This is a great reading. This is not abnormal. I mean, who in their life has not had something horrible happen, or some bad experience, or some old trauma or pain that has popped up and gotten in the way of something we wanted to go after that we resisted, or something of this sort here. I'm just getting very strongly. In your situation, if you you know, want to go back to a past person, you know, then that you may be afraid to even tell that person that you want them back, okay? That is a possibility for some of you here, but for the majority of you, I don't see it quite like that. I see it as a separate situation or situations that are in the sidelines here, which you have a little bit of fear of exposure here, okay? And you just, you know, the advice here is to bring forth your loving offers, okay? And to work on your creativity and build a new base. Like there's something about this that's like you may be starting completely fresh. It may have to do with brand new love or a brand new romantic thing, all right? There is some fear of exposure here. It might be because you want something so bad. For some of you, you could have had some sort of truth come in regards to somebody else, or you may. But I think for the majority of you that this is you. Then, you know, I mean, although I've seen other people here pop up in these scenarios that are either attached to the past or so connected to your desire. Whatever this is, you feel so passionately about it that you're like frozen or something, you know? And the advice is to just do it. Just do it. If you want it, if you're interested in it, just go for it. Go for it. You know, and there is a fear of like breaking, of heartbreak or loss, you know, or there's like exposure. It's like emotional exposure though. It's emotional exposure. In some way it is. And like in some way, there's old things that you're healing from. They may be connected to your family, you know, but I see you being able to do it. Now, the advice here is that if you hold on to your old bad decisions and shame too long, to where you know, or fear of exposure, that you don't get what you wanted because you were afraid to try. Because of fear rather than based off of the things that, well, you really wanted it. So what's the worst thing that can happen? I mean, the best thing that could happen is that you get what you want. Right? Okay? But again, for some reason, something to do with your networks is also playing out here. I don't know if you're afraid that, you know, other people are going to see you fail. If you fail in the public eye. Or if you're afraid that you want something, you know, but I wouldn't be afraid of that. People fail at things all the time, you know. Why would you not go after something you really, really wanted because of fear of failure? What's the worst thing that can happen? I mean, the potential benefit of what can happen, as long as we're not dealing with dishonesty or, you know, some sort of crime of moral turpitude or something, which I don't see here. Is the best thing that can happen. And who cares? At least you know, you can forgive yourself if you try. And if you don't try, then you have shame and regret. Which, I mean, who's this life for? It's for you. It's your life. It's your life. It's for the living. Right? You don't want shame and regret later. You know, a kind of vibe. Okay, so let me know how that goes. That's like a super interesting, pretty detailed messaging that was coming off that puppy. Let me see if I see anything else I wanted to note to you. There's something about your routine. There's something about your routine that you're afraid of upsetting with whatever this is. That's also playing out in here. Like whatever you want may require that you change your routine. And Capricorn can be very attached to their routines. They can, right? But, you know, and there may have been some sort of sudden change to your routines as well, or to structures that you're used to that make you feel comfortable. Okay, but again, it's better to have tried and failed than not have gone after something you want, because I see that if you don't go after this thing that you want, the advice was that you would regret it. It would cause you sadness, you know, that accumulated over time. So that's very specific. It will not apply to all of you. Do not ever force a reading. If that's not your reading, that's not your reading. Okay, I am going to move on to my aquas by Cappy. Hi Aquarius, how are you? I pulled a starter card read for the full moon eclipse, which was on the 8th, okay, and its effects can be felt up to 28 days after, and the cycle that it produces from its effects can take up to 6 months to play out, okay? You pulled here with the underworld, okay? So there is something definitely going on that's either secretive here or emotions that are going on that are kind of rising from the depths here, or some sort of transformation. The underworld is very connected to the planet of Pluto, and Pluto will be entering your sign. I cannot wait for Pluto to enter your sign, because it's a lovely time when Pluto, I mean, I think it's a lovely time when Pluto goes through Aquarius, but you know, I just do. And it's been in Capricorn for a long time. So something about this may be coming to the surface for you now, and especially if you, I don't know if you're in here for Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially if you are a rising sign, you know, what goes on in Pluto when it's in your 12th house, you know, comes into being, into your body and your outward appearance, okay, whether you like it or not, once it gets to the first, okay? So there may have been a very long cycle of that you didn't even recognize when it was going on, that's been playing out since 2008 or 9, okay? That will, you know, it's a huge thing for you. I'm going to be doing a special on Pluto's move into Aquarius. I will do all signs readings for it, okay? Yeah, and I feel like there is some big freaking thing here going on. Your first card is the World. So you could be reaching some sort of achievement or closing something out, or going for something that you really want, okay? And you may have just had a big achievement, okay? There seems to be some sort of big event or something going on. Hold on, I don't want to speak on this too soon. Yeah, okay. I am getting like, you have Death, Justice, and the Magician down here. Holy shit. And the Nine of Swords. There's something fucking huge that you want here, or something huge that either happens around the time of this full moon, okay? Death, Justice, and the Magician. There's something here about a transformation. You may have been working on it for a long time, or it may be something that you've realized that you want due to the cycles of this full moon, okay? It could involve an ending, all right? But there seems to be some justice, you know, a sense that it brings justice, but you know, with the Death card, you always have transformation. Transformation may be required on your part to go after the things you want, even though like there's nothing stopping you. With the Magician, it's like all you have the powers to manifest what you want. All the tools are within your reach, something of this sort, okay? And it may be, you know, whew, these are heavy. It does seem something that you're very, very excited about, and you know, you're very excited about it. You're very excited about it, all right? But there is like a transformation. You may be like the person that's bringing about that change, all right? For some of you, you may have some, you know, big win, okay? You know, or have set your sights on something that you very much want, that you're finally ready to move on or close out so that you can go after. Yeah. Some of you have had some major ending or experienced some major ending, or for some of you there could have been an end to some sort of event, a cancellation of an event, or an end to a possible reconciliation with something that you wanted to move towards, but that closed out, okay? And I think like it's you that closed it out, or it was closed out upon you, but I feel like you were, before this, you were in a hangman state on something, like waiting, you know, and for that to be reversed, it's like you may be quite tired of waiting around to either to end something, to be able to walk through new doors on other things, okay? There may have been a long period of something here that has gone on too long, all right? And you know, the Ten of Swords is very, very painful. It hurts, but I feel like you are letting go of things that you were holding on to be able to move forward here, okay? Okay, and again, I'm gonna say for this, for you, I definitely feel like this reading for you today is going to maybe not even play out or fully come into being, or you know, if fully take its first like step where you can look back and be like, but it's something about what you decide or happens now that leads you into March of next year. Okay. Hang on before I speak on this more, and then I'm going to look at the chart with it, okay? For some of you, I feel like there may have been, you may have been facing some sort of, hold on. Breakup. Some of you could have been dealing with a Capricorn, okay, or addiction issues, or some sort of toxic old love relationship or marriage that you had to separate yourself from, okay, for some of you. And but like that situation is dead done as a doornail. You know, and if you tried to reconcile with somebody or something like that, you may have something occur that you know, makes you realize that you cannot reconcile with that person. You know, for some of you, this could be somebody you have a child with, does not have to be, okay? But I feel as if there might be some sort of decision here in regarding cutting off from somebody, okay, where the emotional fulfillment, it was just not there, okay? And some of you could be feeling a lack of emotional fulfillment, all right, and feeling lonely, all right, because of it, okay? I do feel like the advice here is for you to block out the ways that the baggage that you carry in regards to things, because I see a lot of guilt here, or excessive burden, okay, and it's blocking your loving vibes, okay, it's blocking your ability to move forward with love, all right. Now for some of you, I'm going to take a look at the chart here before I, you know, and speak some more, but hang on. Some of you could have been dealing with a fire sign, okay? Holy shit. Giving me quite the story today. Hold on. I feel like some of you are either lying to yourself or are healing, or want to heal and have a victory in regards to something that maybe is very emotional and secretive to you. I think for a lot of you it has to do with everyday happiness. I just want to look at your chart real quick before I speak, because this is a very, very heavy chart. There's a lot of major arcana. There's a lot of feelings involved here, as well as like something you want to heal or are dealing with here. And I just, it's like, this is quite the big cycle. And I do not think, and I haven't said this for any other reading in particular as to you, whatever occurs, okay, on or around the time of this full moon, or finally reaches like some stage, there may be something unexpected that occurs in your home or homeland that you did not expect. You may find out about something you didn't expect. You may have intuition about something you didn't expect in regards to your home or homeland, all right, or base root foundations, okay? That could very much be you also closing a cycle out, okay? And, you know, but with the unexpected falling in your fourth house with, you know, this moon, and these strong energies, you know, there is a T square, and I feel as if that for some of you, it has to do with your partnerships, possibly a love relationship, or a marriage. Okay. And if it's not a, if it's not a love relationship, I feel as if there's like some sort of communications that are either blocked or come in or come about here at this time that sets you on this path. And I do not believe that this path and the advice here given in regards to this path fully plays out. It may not play out for like many years, especially if you're starting something new with someone. But whatever comes to you to change or that ends at this time, if something ends, is meant to be. All right. And for some of you, I feel like you've closed the cycle on working on something in particular, and it may be at home with someone. I'm sorry if that's the case. You know, I see here some of you, you know, may have been waiting in regards to either bringing an offer to someone or trying something, you know, and you may, you know, let go of that around this time. Let go of that, okay? It does look like you have to cut some losses on something in regards to this, you know, and for some of you, you know, I feel as if you may be afraid that somebody in your family is not going to approve, okay? For some of you, you could be afraid that like someone in your family will not approve if you do what you need to do on something. But I also feel like you're done waiting. You're done waiting as to, you know, everyone's approval on this, okay? And there is the advice from the universe is like, I have a 7 of Wands here, and then I got a 10 of Wands, the Devil, and the Knight of Cups, okay? It's like drop the baggage of holding on to something, all right? So that you can bring this thing forward. And a 7 of Wands implies that you're on higher ground, that you hold the higher ground, or that there can be some sort of ricochet effect, okay? And I don't want you blocking your own blessings here. That's the big thing I'm going to say, because there's something here with a great weight you're carrying, either responsibility-wise or in relation to your own shortcomings or past attachments to something that was harmful to you, whether that be a person or a relationship that that you need to process and then block out anything that can interfere with the thing, your main goals here of where you want to go with this, okay? And you know, there's a processing that's involved with that here that's very important, and I do not see this completely playing out until, like, again, I feel like this is something that happens and then you decide, and then it could take up to 6 months to fully come to fruition. But I do see it coming to fruition with like investment success and a freaking lot of freaking happiness. It's like you get the prize, but there may be something that you're doing between now and the next 6 months that you keep quiet at first about either what you really want or what your end goals are or something of this sort, okay? You could be dealing with anybody that has some water in their chart. Certainly you could. Somebody that has a lot of Venus as well. I see Capricorn here as well that could be popping up. Some Pisces or Cancer. This is like freaking, you get it, bing, bang, boom. But what's funny about this is there's this like, there's something here that's like hidden. You know, I don't think it's in a bad way, but I think it has to do with you not showing your complete hand when you're in this process, that there's periods of rest and healing, and it's like whatever you get there, it's going to work out. There's going to be a lot of healing and a lot of victory. Like if you know, there's going to be a lot of victory, but there is some parts of this that you're holding your cards close to your chest on, in regards to, all right, and that might be because of your fear of getting left out in the cold here. However, like, you are incapable anymore of allowing your fears of people on not accepting you, or someone else, or being unhappy in some way or another here, to continue to drive the bus. And there is some sort of ending here, possibly a betrayal, but I don't, feel like it's going, I feel like it's just the end of that situation. And I see you in very positive energy. Like, I see you, that there was some sort of contemplation period, but it's something that you contemplated for a while, and you're coming out of a position of waiting on what you're going to do, okay, and into an action period. However, that action period, because this is so big, while you may start taking actions and engaging in something, going after this thing, it may take up to 6 months to see your first, like, oh, now I got up a rung of where I want to get to. But there is something here very much that you want to heal, that you're kind of holding your hand on. It's very interesting. Very interesting. But there is also a message here that the only thing blocking you from what you want is yourself. How that plays out for all of you is going to be somewhat different, but I do see it highly tied to possibly a relationship, okay? A mother figure, either yours or a spouse, okay? You could be this Empress, all right? You could have been, but I do see it very much. You may have been stressed about feeling abandoned, or abandoning, or leaving someone else. However, like, once you get to this world, and to have this world and the Ten of Cups, is like a definitive ending here, that you're starting out with. And again, this is at your foundations, your home base, within your home. I'm feeling like some of this plays out for you guys, or hits very close to home. Something of this sort here, okay? And it will affect, I hate to say, like, maybe you have so much going on at your career that you didn't want to, like, deal with changes at home. For some of you it could be, but they are upon you in one way or another, okay? And it could have been related to children, or you could be the child that that this was, kind of playing out with. You could have communications in regards to a child, or been worried about a child, okay? Or worried about a creative project, all right? But with such strong energy in the 5th house with Mars there, that is a very strong driving force for change. It's there for 8 months. It's just kind of hovering right now. And there is a lot of drive within you right now to change structures in regards to children, and creative projects, and to take decisive action. And that is coming from you, to change structures, all right, in regards to these matters, all right? Could have to do with a creative project, but there is a positive trine. So even though there is an upset and tensions between something that you want to do here, or something that happens in your home base, you have, like, the stamina and positive energy and drive to go towards what you want. It's like you're not down for long. Something of this sort. Something of this sort. Looks pretty damn good. Looks pretty damn good. All right, but again, there is some sort of, breaking point kind of vibe to this full moon eclipse, especially as it relates to you. So, and like I said, I will be doing that Pluto special soon. Okay, I'm gonna do a intro and then a read for every sign. So I love you guys. Let me know how it goes. Bye. Pisces, how are you? I am in Florida. definitely listen to the intro. There is a storm headed my way today. I like this for you. You have Jupiter back in your sign, approximately 29 degrees, 28, 29 degrees, okay? Very powerful for you. Last degree of the zodiac wheel in your sign, and it is your Greek Hellenistic ruler. I would expect for it to be lucky for you, especially if you are born towards the latter part. It will trine off anything you have in the other water signs, okay, which can be quite beneficial. There looks to be like some sort of major achievement here for you, Pisces, okay? And they may have to do with communications in your small networks, okay? You may receive some sort of blessings in that regard, or have something heightened occur in that regard, okay? You know, Venus is in your 9th, and I feel as if you guys are involved in any kind of foreign affairs or higher learning at this time, that it'll be very beneficial for you. Somehow you may be tying something that you get from your smaller networks or received with communications in your smaller networks, okay? You may have something unexpected occur in your networks, okay, with your neighbors around this time, okay, or your siblings or people that you come into proximity with, okay, on an everyday basis or in your local environment, okay? You may have something unexpected occur that you weren't really planning for, okay? Some of you may just have like a lot of heightened intuition at this time in regards to those matters, okay? But I see a very strong amount of energy in the 9th house. So I feel like some of you are maybe learning at this time, okay, or working on something that you want very much, okay, to get to a major achievement. And you may, if you are at school and you're working on grad school or something like this, it may be a considerable win. Also, if you're dealing with anything that is has to do with like religion or dogma or foreign affairs or travel, there may be, you know, something unexpected that you hear about with your local networks at home, something of this sort. But I do see a win here, all right? I don't know if you weren't expecting it, you may have not been, all right? But there does look to be like some sort of win, and some of you may be a mentor to somebody else or seeking a mentor at this time on some things that you're working on that'll be very beneficial to you, okay? Let's do some clarifiers, shall we? You know, the main source of tension would be felt with any of the fixed signs. If you have anything in the fixed signs, all right, Scorpio, Leo, all right, Taurus, and Aquarius, all right. Especially with Aquarius, we have Saturn in Aquarius, and it's the apex of a T-square between this eclipse, all right. So there is some tensions. And they're strong tensions, but they demand for the change of structures that we're used to, okay? And when we're dealing with Aquarius, that deals with invention. They require invention. To build the new structures you want, you have to be inventive about how to handle the challenge or situation that arises or that you realize or that comes up around this time, okay? And there's something about tying all these things in that are going to be key, all right? Some of you, hang on. Just to call these out, you have 4 of Wands, the Lovers, the 4 of Pentacles, the Blasted Tower, and the King of Swords. Some of you may be communicators, may even be teachers or speakers, or run across or be dealing with somebody like that, okay? I do see you, whatever it is that you're exploring and chasing looks to be like a freaking wish fulfillment that you want very, very much, okay? And you know, whether you've already achieved this or this is the goal that you've set for yourself, looks damn hot. It looks like, you know, you may have to learn a little bit more or explore different ways of what you're doing here to achieve it, but you're 100% willing to do that, okay? And it is some sort of, you know, internal wish fulfillment for you, okay? In regards to, ooh, there's some messed up something here. I see you going after this because something you were in before, or a choice that you made about something before to leave something that was crazy, all right? Some of you that decided on a new course of study or a new thing that you're exploring or doing, you know, may have been attached to some backstabbing or some interference from other people or something like this before, all right? There may have been some sort of loss or battle, and you had to kind of, yeah, fight and make your decisions to leave something previously, which is why you're onto this new thing now. Wow. Okay, and the choices that you've made previous to this full moon have led you to this new space where you are right here. And I don't know how hard you had to work till you got to this Four of Wands, or if this is just now the sights you've set yourself on to here, okay? But damn, that look good. Now, what came before it looks pretty crazy. But it was a decision to walk away from some shit that was some fuckery, all right? Maybe involving multiple parties that you had to make a choice to walk away from, and it looks like you did. And I don't know how long ago that was. That could have been 6 months to a year ago, I'm feeling, on this, okay? What's this for? But whatever this is that you come across here that you really, really want, that you're in the groove on here, oh boy, do you want it. Now, some of you could be, I see a little bit of stress here, Pisces. I see you holding on to a little bit of stress in regards to either stepping into your own power, which you need not. You need not. You need not, all right? Hold on. If you were like waiting to achieve a certain thing, it may come about unexpectedly around the time of this full moon, or within the degrees of energy, and then may not play out fully for another 6 months. You may reach an unexpected kind of victory here, okay? I do show that you may be working with some masculine energies in the future, okay? They may have some Scorpio or heavy Mars or air in their chart, okay? I'm also seeing Virgo here. But you may be addressing, like, in whatever it is that you're going after or doing, you may have to address transforming some things with some, like, rulers or bosses or father-like figures here, okay, that you're in heavy contemplation about doing something about. However, there may be some sort of, like, all of a sudden, you know, news, and it's like, when you get this news or this offer, it may kind of blow your mind or blow your world, or kind of create a lot of rapid change, or you may be afraid of some rapid change that goes along with this. It looks damn freaking good, though. Damn freaking good. You know, there may be multiple masculine energies kind of involved here. And your transformation in that regard is very important here. There is something about truth, whether you speak the truth or whether there's some sort of truth that is involved in your work or that you realize, okay? I feel like there's something you're holding your tongue on here that you're afraid to speak on, but that is critical to your success in reaching, like, some sort of soul level growth here that's popping up here. Looks damn good. Looks damn good, okay? Some of you may have involved with some sort of investigative work, or some of you could be in some sort of work with government or something of this sort, okay? but there's something about your intuition here that comes in that's a blessing here. And something may happen externally that just kind of freaking rocks your world, but there's something about you speaking the truth in regards to what you want with your own foundations that were able to cause this. And there's no need for you to be upset about whatever occurs. You're going to be able to deal with it. Okay. And again, I'm getting a lot of masculine energies surrounding this. I think I got an Empress too earlier. Yeah, I did. I did. And, if you're dealing with a situation in regards to something you were holding on to here, or bad decisions, or the fear of making a bad decision, don't let that hold you back from your success of, because there is a need here to break out of a mold here. So let me just take a look here, because for you guys, this tension is from the 12th house. It's like the changes that need to be made are from like a very secretive place. Okay, some of you may be involved or get involved in some sort of secretive project or secretive thing that brings you some great success here. Okay, you may be shining a light on the ways that some things need to transform. Okay, there may be something of great substance here. Now, for some of you, you could be working with somebody else who helps you shine a light on your own stuff so that you can grow personally. But I see it at a very external level here, popping off. That's quite freaking amazing. There may be this 1 minute or 2 minutes here where you're afraid to take a leap after something, comes along your way. I don't think that you need to be afraid of that kind of success, if you will, or putting yourself out there in this regard, because it's something that you want. But I can't wait to do your detailed read now. This could, come about within 6 months. I do see that. I do see that, this might revolve around a significant rung up, and some of the benefits you receive may come from external sources, okay, through, travel or wider networks, okay? That looks freaking amazing. It really does. It really freaking does. That there is structures that are either hidden, whether they're in your own mind or in the background, that you're fighting against here. That you have to like bust the seams at to break through some level up to get this achievement that you want. And it's big. That I see you doing it. I mean, you are going to do it. Your intuition may be very, very heightened now, and there may be some sort of project that you were working on that you also need to involve your closer networks with, okay, or build closer networks with over the next 6 months, okay, to get to where you want to be in regards to this goal, okay. And I do see it as a big like achievement or goal. I mean, for some of you it could involve a marriage, but I don't see it playing out that way for the majority of you. If it did, it looks like if it did involve a marriage or past marriage, there's no issues. Like later, it's like there's no issues if you dealt with something like that. But I don't see it like that for the majority of you. I just don't. Now, for some of you, you could have have a sibling or something of that sort that needs help because something goes crazy in their life or unexpectedly. I see that only for a small portion of you. I think for the majority of you, You know, especially on these small readings, I ask for, you know, information on you, not everybody else in the equation. But because it's a third house issue, I do want to mention it. Let's see if I want to mention anything else. If you guys have any Virgo placements or Gemini placements, it'll be a little bit like those areas of your lives will kind of be kicking off together in this kind of occurrence that goes down, okay? And the change that's brought about from it. Additionally, you know, whatever you're working on, it's like it leads to something regarding your own legacy, okay? Some of you guys may become a teacher of some sort, or be working again with some sort of teacher of some sort, or have some sort of mentor that really comes in to help you get to where you want to be. And you know, you could like, if I don't feel like whatever's going on you're doing for material gain, but there's something here about like you chasing your passions is going to lead to that. So I don't know if there's worries about that for you. All right, I don't know that there is, but if there is, it doesn't. It looks like it's going to be absolutely fine. It looks freaking very interesting. Let me know how that goes, please, Pisces, because that is a hell of a reading. But I do feel like there's some major wish fulfillment on it, some massive goal achievement, and you're going to be really working on challenging or working with many others to bring about this goal. Okay. Let me know how that goes. I love you, Pisces. I'll see you later.